In the dark, silent stretches of the Andromeda sector, a lone starship drifted silently through the void. Inside, Lyra, a young alien girl with eyes like molten silver, adjusted her sleek, armored suit. She was known among her people as rebellious, always testing boundaries, always challenging authority. And tonight, she was about to challenge something far bigger than herself, a human known only as Kane. Kane's reputation preceded him. Stories of his cunning, strength, and relentless determination traveled faster than light across star systems. For centuries, humans had been considered fragile, yet Kane had proven that one human could rival the might of an entire alien fleet. And now, Lyra, with her quick reflexes and sharp mind, had dared to provoke him. The challenge began when she hacked into the human command network, broadcasting a defiant message across the interstellar communications grid. "Human," she said, her voice dripping with arrogance, "you claim to be the strongest, the smartest. Prove it. Face me, one-on-one, in the void. Let the stars judge who is truly superior." Kane received the message aboard his own ship. He studied her profile briefly: 23 Earth years, skilled in combat, highly intelligent, dangerously impulsive. A slight smirk touched his lips. "She doesn't know what she's inviting," he muttered to himself. Lyra's starship moved like a shadow through the cosmic dust as she approached Kane's vessel. The tension was electric. Onlookers from distant observation posts would have said the silence was unnatural, as if space itself was holding its breath. Lyra docked near Kane's ship, initiating a tense standoff. "You came," Kane said simply, leaning casually against a console. His posture was relaxed, but his eyes were sharp, scanning her every move. Lyra squared her shoulders, trying to hide her unease. "Of course. I wouldn't let my words fall into the void. You're about to see why I am the future of my kind." Kane nodded slowly, then gestured toward the vast expanse outside the docking bay. "Then let's begin. No weapons, no tricks. Just skill." For a moment, the two regarded each other, two different worlds colliding in one place. Then, without warning, Lyra lunged. The fight started fast. Lyra moved like liquid, her alien biology giving her reflexes far beyond human limits. She struck with precision, aiming for weak points in Kane's armor, her strikes fast enough to blur the air. But Kane didn't flinch. He absorbed her blows, analyzed her movements, and responded with calculated, powerful counters that forced her to retreat. Hours passed, or maybe minutes. In the void, time seemed meaningless. Lyra realized that Kane was not just strong. He was patient, reading her attacks before she even made them. And yet, each time she fell back, a spark of excitement lit in her silver eyes. This was the thrill she had been searching for, a human who could challenge her, force her to the edge of her abilities. "Impressive," she admitted between breaths, circling him. "But you still underestimate me." Kane tilted his head slightly, his gaze steady. "Maybe. Or maybe you overestimate yourself." The word stung more than any blow. Lyra lunged again, faster this time, and for a moment, she thought she had him cornered. But Kane anticipated it perfectly. With a swift, precise move, he disarmed her, sending her weapon clattering across the floor of the docking bay. Lyra paused, breathing hard, her pride stinging more than her body. Kane stood before her, calm, imposing, a human who had proven himself against her best. And yet, she felt something unexpected: desire. The desire to test herself further, to see just how far she could push him, and herself. "You fight differently," she whispered, almost to herself. Kane's eyes softened for a brief moment. "And you learn fast. But remember this: every action has a reaction. Every challenge carries a cost." Lyra's lips curved into a daring smile. "Then show me your cost." The next phase of their confrontation was unlike anything Lyra had experienced. Kane didn't just block or counter her attacks, he began to push her, gently but relentlessly, forcing her to use skills she didn't even know she had. Each strike, each maneuver, was a lesson wrapped in pain and pleasure, frustration and exhilaration. She found herself laughing, screaming, and gasping all at once. Kane's retribution was methodical, unyielding, and yet exhilaratingly unpredictable. Every time she thought she had him figured out, he shifted, forcing her to adapt, to think, to move beyond the limits of her alien physiology. Lyra began to lose track of who was teaching whom. The lines between attacker and defender blurred, leaving only the raw, primal thrill of competition. And yet, a part of her feared what was happening inside her. She had challenged a human, believing she would dominate, and now she found herself craving the very force that pushed her to her limits. Hours, or maybe lifetimes later, they collapsed on the floor of the docking bay, both breathing heavily. Lyra's silver eyes glinted with newfound respect. Kane, though weary, looked at her with an unreadable expression. "You are relentless," he said finally. "And you," Lyra began, then paused, realizing words failed her. She had never faced anyone like him before. He had taken her challenge and turned it into something she could never have imagined, something that left her begging for more, not in submission, but in exhilaration. Kane extended a hand. "Enough for now?" Lyra hesitated, then took it. A spark of electricity ran through her, a reminder of the connection forged in combat, respect, and challenge. "For now," she said, a sly grin crossing her face. "But this isn't over. I will see you again." Kane nodded, already anticipating the next encounter. Somewhere deep in the galaxy, their story was far from finished. Lyra had challenged the human, and the human had responded in ways that changed her forever. She had come seeking dominance, but she left understanding the true meaning of power, respect, adaptation, and the thrill of being tested beyond all limits. As Lyra's ship disengaged and vanished into the starlit void, she realized something profound. This human, fragile yet unyielding, had not only defeated her physically but had awakened something inside her, something she didn't know she was capable of. And she craved it. The stars seemed to whisper her name as she raced through space, already planning her return. Kane had given her the ultimate gift, the endless challenge she had always sought, wrapped in retribution, mastery, and the delicious, dangerous thrill of not knowing who would dominate next. And somewhere, deep in the heart of the galaxy, Kane watched her disappear, a small, satisfied smile playing across his lips. He had met the challenge, and for the first time in centuries, he had found a worthy opponent, a rebellious alien girl who would push him in ways no one else ever could. The game had only begun.